Welcome to the Teja Statistics. This is the class of time series. In last class, we discussed about the components of time series, definition of time series. In this class, we are going to learn about these measurements of trend. There are four methods for calculating graphical method, semi-averages method, moving averages method, and least squares method. In your syllabus you are going to have only these three. We deleted that uh, graphical method of calculation. So by the way, what is the meaning of a trend? So a long period of time which we can uh, have our time series data. So it is the time series data fluctuated by these trend values. Okay, the time series data may get increment or decremental. So by using this trend. So how to calculate that trend calculations? We are learning here, that is measurement of trend. So here you can see the measurements of the trend. The various methods of measuring the trend are semi-averages, next moving averages, and least square method. So here first of all we are going to look at the semi-averages method. What do you mean by this semi-averages method? Semi-averages method is, so you have to divide the whole data into two equal parts and you have to do the average. In the name itself it is telling that it is semi. Semi means half. Okay, so in this approach the series is divided into two halves, then average is found out for the each of the series. So you can see here the average values are of the you should put on the graph paper. So by considering the midpoints of the corresponding each half series, so the line joining of these two plotted points gives you a trend line. Okay, so the direction of a line indicates about the rising or falling of the given trend of the business movement. It is if the number of years or should be uh, in a series is odd, then the middle year is excluded or omitted at the time of dividing the series. So which you can easily understood. The total data is should be considered on a graph paper. It should be put on a graph paper by considering the values of the time series on x-axis and the given uh, uh, values of the time. They are going to give you like years and sales, the number of sales. So here the years should be considered as on x-axis and the given number of sales are should be considered on y-axis. Appropriate scale should be taken, and before going to move you have to count how many number of observations are there. So in that observations, so you can have, if the odd number of observations, the middle one you can omit or excluded. Okay, to make it into off. Okay, so this is one of the drawback actually, so which we are going to discuss in the demerits. Okay, so next you have to do averages separately, and you have to plot the points on the graph by taking the averages points on the graph. Okay, so according to the midpoints, so which will gives you the direction. If you join the 2 points, which will gives you the idea about the data of the time series. It is showing falling, or it is showing rising. If it is showing rising, then the time series data is moving good. If it is falling, means the time series data is decreasing. Okay, in that way you can understood that one. So here are the merits for this time series data. It has no subjectivity. For one series there is only one trend line. So this is the merit points. Next, if you consider the demerits, it is affected by the extreme values if present in the time series data. It can't be estimate the seasonal and cyclic variations. It is suitable for long period of time only. And one more drawback which we are uh, what we can say, the uh, mm, omitting that or excluding that value. So here one value is excluded, so the deleting of the data is also be the one of the drawback for this semi averages method. Next, moving to the moving averages method. This is the second method of calculating a trend. So the moving averages method is an improvement of the semi averages method, uh, which you can easily calculate the averages for short term fluctuations are eliminated by it. uh, Different steps of moving average methods are as follows. Step number 1: to attain the moving average, a group of uh, beginning years of periods which constitute a business so cycle is chosen for calculating the average. This average is placed in front of the uh, middle of the year periods of the group. So you have to do two period moving averages. That means you have to consider two values and you have to do the averages for the given data. Next, step number 2. Now delete first year value from the group and add the succeeding year value in the group of to find the average of the uh, of the given data. So group and place it on the front of the middle of the year in this group. So this is a second step for the calculation. Step number 3: if the number of years in a group is odd, there is no problem of locating the middle value of the year. But if the number of years in the group is even, no single year is middle here. Hence you have to overcome this difficulty. The average of averages in the pairs is calculated and placed against in the mid year of the two. So in this way the moving averages are set against years. So which we can easily able to calculate for this data. So how we are going to calculate means, if the odd number of values, let us suppose the years are 1991, 1992. Next we can see the step number 4 here, that is keep on repeating step number 2 and till all years are exhausted. So these moving averages themselves constitute the time series values. So you can put all these values in a graph. The graph of step 5 provides the trend value. So merits of this moving averages method is, the greatest advantage of this method is that it is eliminates all the short term fluctuations. It reduces the effect of the extreme values. But we have some drawbacks also for this time series trend calculation by using the moving average method. A few years in this beginning and end of the years we may omit or left over. So that is one of the greatest drawback of this calculation moving averages method. And one more, this method is not mathematical uh, calculation method. So there is no another value to decide the number of years in a group. So these are all the drawbacks of this method, the moving averages method. This is the second method of calculating the trend values. Next, if you consider the very important method that is called least squares method for the trend. The principle of least squares is the most popular and widely used method of fitting of mathematical function to the given set of data. The various types of curves may be used to describe the given data in practice. So here the straight line equation they given of the form y equals to a plus b into t. So here y is a dependent variable, a and b are two constants, and t is the time series data. So the principle of least square consisting the minimizing the sum of squares of the deviation between the given values of y and their estimates given by the equation 1. In another words, we have to find the constants a and b such that for the given values of the t corresponding n different values of t. Okay, for easy and simple calculation, we are directly writing the normal equations for the given equation. So that is sigma y equals to n into a plus b into sigma t. This is the first normal equation, and the second normal equation sigma yt is equals to a into sigma t plus b into sigma t square. So on solving these two equations, we have to find the constants. We can easily able to calculate the constants values of a and b. So this is very important calculation. By finding these calculations, if you substitute that values in the equation, you can easily predict the dependent variable values by substituting the time series values. Next, this is also be the another method of curve. The given the second degree parabola equation. This is in the form of y equals to a plus bt plus ct square. So of the curve they are giving, so directly we can write the normal equations for the given. So they are sigma y equals to n into a plus b into sigma t plus c into sigma t square is the first equation. The second equation sigma y into t a into sigma t plus b into sigma t square plus c into sigma t cube. This is equation number 2. As next, the summation yt square is equals to a into summation t plus b into summation t cube plus c into summation t to the power of 4. All these values are you can calculate by preparing one table, and if you substitute that values, you can easily by solving these three equations, you can easily get the values of a, b, c. By substituting ABC values, you are going to get the required second degree parabola equation, and you have the fitting of exponential curve of the form, and also you have merits and demerits in this group. That is, it is a mathematical method. It gives estimated values for all periods. The fitted trend equation can be used for purpose of the estimation. Also, the demerits are it involves lot of calculations compared to the previous ones or other methods. So these are very important calculations of trend. Just I am repeating, I am giving you the instructions that to how to find out the trend calculation, semi averages, moving averages, least squares method. In that, every time you are going to get one question in least squares method. So semi averages and moving average methods are very simple and easiest questions to calculate. Okay, they may ask these questions in your short answers sometimes, but here the least square question, the least squares method, they should ask you in long answers only. Okay, so this is also can be explained by taking one example also. Okay, we are going to continue these things in the next session. This is the class of 2. So in this class we learn the methods for calculating of the trend. You can see. Okay, thank you.